You're watching Direct Mobiles TV, and in this episode we're going to take a look into the future and see what phones we're most excited about in 2020. A lot can happen in a year, and it was around about this time last year that we saw the release of the Samsung Galaxy S10 series. And right now there are plenty of rumours about the imminent follow-up from Samsung, what is thought to be called the Galaxy S20 series. 3 handsets are expected to launch at the annual Samsung Unpacked event: the Galaxy S20, the Galaxy S20 Plus and the Galaxy S20 Ultra. All handsets are said to have 5G variants, and being Samsung, we expect these devices to have absolutely incredible displays. If the rumours are correct, it will be a buttery smooth 120Hz refresh rate and up to 2K resolution. Expect a pinhole selfie camera smaller than anything that we've seen before, and around the back the camera array will house 4 or possibly 5 camera sensors, the main being an incredible 108 megapixel unit. The rumours suggest that for the first time we will see a time of flight sensor for more accurate portrait shots, as well as a 10x optical periscope style zoom. Staying with Samsung for the moment, and there are rumours that there is an additional device that could launch at their Unpacked event. If you like the look of the Samsung Galaxy Fold, but you really didn't fancy dropping the best part of £2,000 on that device, then this one is for you. It's thought that Samsung will release a foldable clamshell style device that will have a much more affordable price tag than the original Galaxy Fold. This device could be called the Galaxy Bloom or possibly the Galaxy Z Flip. This phone was teased at the Samsung Developer Conference last year. It could have an extra tall display with a 22:9 aspect ratio, possibly around about 6.7 or 6.8 inches, and fold up neatly to a very pocketable device that closes completely flat. It's said to have dual 12 megapixel sensors on the back with Samsung's variable aperture technology and a single punch hole selfie camera. It's been reported that Samsung's target market for this device is female social media users, and this is something that is kind of reflected in the design, as it was allegedly based on makeup cases. Although we think that this one will appeal to all, and we can't wait to get our hands on it. All the devices so far will be on the market by February, but moving a bit further down into the year and we get to MWC and what is expected to be the highlight of the show, the Xperia 1.1, or what some are calling the Xperia Zero. Since the Sony Xperia 1 was released at MWC in 2019, then it kind of makes sense that Sony will call the new handset released at the same show the Xperia 2, although it is pretty tricky to keep track of Xperia naming systems, so we'll just have to wait and see. But whatever it is called, this handset is rumoured to be very high spec. The new Xperia could be powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 and carry a 5G modem, 12GB of RAM, which is a huge jump up from the Xperia 1. And we could get either a 48 or maybe even a 64 megapixel main sensor in a triple camera system that hopefully will keep pace with the competition a little bit better than the Xperia 1 did. A 4K display is also rumoured, and with Sony's expertise in this area, we can't wait to see what improvements they have brought in this department to the Xperia flagship range. Just after MWC finishes, we will see the release of Huawei's latest flagship, the P40 Pro. Now, we expect big things from this handset because the device they previously released, the Mate 30 Pro, was extremely impressive in so many areas apart from one, and that was the fact that it basically came in an empty shell with no Google apps installed. This is thanks to the placement of the company on the US government entity list, which prevents many US companies from doing business with Huawei. As a result, the phone was never really picked up by many networks and never really found its way into many people's hands in Western markets. But this time around, Huawei have a plan. Huawei have started to heavily invest in their own ecosystem for smartphones and have incentivized developers worldwide to produce versions of the top 100 to 150 apps. And the first devices that should see this new and improved ecosystem could be the P40 series. Other rumours about the P40 Pro is that it will have 5 camera lenses, a 10x optical zoom, a dedicated cine-style video sensor, and a 52 megapixel main sensor with an RYYB colour filter similar to the existing P30 Pro. And finally, a list like this would not be complete without a mention of the 2020 iPhone, which for now at least we will call the iPhone 12. Expected to be released in the 4th quarter of the year, there really isn't too much information about these devices just yet, although what information we do have suggests that we may see as many as 5 new devices from Apple this year. Updated versions of what we have already with the regular iPhone, iPhone Pro and iPhone Pro Max, but it is possible this year that we will see cheaper entry-level iPhone models, which will bring the fantastic iOS experience to a much wider customer base. The cheapest device in the current lineup is over £700, which realistically does put it out of the reach of a lot of people, so there's a huge market that Apple could potentially tap with these new devices. As for the flagship models for 2020, we expect a similar camera design to what we have at the moment, although we should have a fairly radical change in the design of the case, with chamfered edges rather than rounded, reminiscent of older iPhone designs. And perhaps the most significant change to the iPhone this year will be the processor, the A14 Bionic. The A14 Bionic, which we assume it will be called, will be the first mobile processor with a 5nm manufacturing process. If these rumors turn out to be correct, then the iPhone 12 will have the jump on the competition and will be far and away the most powerful and possibly the most power efficient phone on the market. There's so much to look forward to in 2020. It really is incredible how fast mobile phone technology evolves. Please subscribe to Direct Mobiles, as we will be at the launch event for all of these devices and will have reviews as soon as they become available. We have over 24 years of award-winning customer service. You can find your next phone at Direct Mobiles.